Temple number 10 on the Shikoku 88 Temple pilgrimage route, Kirihataji Temple. Even today, a constant stream of pilgrims comes here to worship. At Kirihataji stands an important cultural property, the main hall, which for the first time in 75 years, is undergoing roof retiling at a Kawara roof tile workshop due to major restoration work. At the worksite, preparations for the tile roofing are complete, with even the Neuerban roof sheathing boards neatly replaced. As in shrine carpentry, full-size layout drawings are created to plan the tile arrangement. Cultural property roofs often feature complex curves. This makes it necessary to plan the tile layout precisely according to full-size architectural drawings. From these drawings, the tile spacing, Kawara wari, and slope are determined, and the overall fit of the tiles is confirmed. Craftsmen with the skill to perform this kind of tile work are called fukishi, master roof tilers. The fukishi completes the full-size layout. In the actual work, the Miyadaiku, temple carpenter, first installs the kawaraza, wooden supports that hold the eaves tiles, Nokihira Kawara. Following the Fukishi's instructions, the Miyadaiku marks the kawaraza with the predetermined tile spacing from the full-size layout. The spacing is set from the center of the eaves and divided equally to both sides. This spacing becomes the foundation for all subsequent tile placement. The Miyadaiku carves the kawaraza to fit the flat eaves tiles, Nokihira Kawara, that go underneath the eaves tiles. Tiling requires cooperation between the Miyadaiku and the Fukishi. Using long and round chisels, the Miyadaiku carefully shapes the curved R sections to match the underside of the Nokihira Kawara. This process is done for every spot where the eaves tiles will rest. Sugi, cedar, boards for doibuki, the wooden underlayment, are brought in. This doibuki prevents rainwater that seeps through the tiles from reaching the underside boards of the roof. The method is the same as kakerabuki, wood shingle roofing, but with longer shingle boards. Even on its own, the finished doibuki is said to be sufficient to block rain. Meanwhile, the Fukishi sorts and washes the old tiles, removed from the roof. Usable tiles, even from cut-off ends, are reused. About 30% of the old tiles can be recycled. Even new tiles have slight variations in firing color. Therefore, each tile is carefully measured. The valley depth is measured, and tiles with the same depth are laid in vertical rows. Tiles are also sorted according to any warping, those bending to the right, to the left, or staying straight, so they are placed appropriately. This careful selection ensures proper fit and watertightness. Over the doibuki, a layer of clay is spread before the tiles are set. This clay is called fukitsuchi. It is usually prepared in advance, near the construction site by the fukishi. To keep fukitsuchi from crumbling when dry, chopped straw is mixed in. It is kneaded repeatedly until it loses its original shape, then left to mature for about 3 months. To prevent the fukitsuchi from sliding down the doibuki, small wooden battens, san, are nailed in place. These battens are called Kawara zan. Tiles nails are first hammered in loosely so copper wires for fixing the tiles can be wrapped around them, then driven in firmly. The spacing of Kawara yama changes depending on roof slope and tile length. For round tiles, Marugawara, and ridge tiles, Munagawara, a different type of bedding is made, Yone Shikui, roof plaster. This is made by mixing coarse sand with lime and finely shredded hemp fiber. Roof plaster is used where strong adhesion is needed, such as where tiles meet. This distinction between bedding materials is part of ensuring a durable roof. The Noki Hiragawara, flat eaves tiles, are carefully matched with the Siki Hiragawara, flat bedding tiles beneath them. The Siki Hiragawara reinforce the eaves tiles. They also help the fit look neater and protect the eaves from rain if the eaves tiles become damaged. Only after all these preparations can the tiles be laid on the roof. First, the eaves projection determined in the full-size layout is transferred to the center of the eaves. This is an important step, serving as the standard for tile overhang and overall alignment. Depending on the building's design, the usual eaves projection for Noki Hiragawara is about 3 to 3.5 sun, approximately 9 to 10.5 centimeters, from the Kawaraza. The slope of the eaves tiles is also decided according to the full-size layout. Next, an okiito, string line, is stretched along the lower edge of the standard eaves tile. This is then adjusted to extend about 5 bu, approximately 1.5 centimeters, to match the curve of the eaves. In this way, the eaves tiles are laid in place. The method of laying tiles is classified according to how the bedding clay is placed. Betabuki, full coverage roofing, covers the whole roof surface with clay, making it easier to achieve clean roof lines. However, it adds a lot of weight, requiring thick and large structural members. To lighten the roof, Tsujibuki, strip roofing, was devised, placing the bedding clay in strips. There are single strip and double strip methods, both are lighter and more breathable than Betabuki. But Tsujibuki requires more skill to keep the roof stable and achieve clean lines. For this project, the single strip method was chosen for the cut ends of the roof. Now, let's look at the actual laying of the Hiragawara, flat tiles. First, a string line is pulled from the ridge to the center of the eaves. This serves as a level reference. The first flat tile is laid with an overlap of about 2 sun, approximately 6 centimeters, to protect the eaves tiles, and the rest are laid according to the planned overlap. The overlap length is set so that at least 3 tiles always overlap, for watertightness. Tiles that hit the reference line are trimmed at protruding points. In the past, this was done by grinding with steel, but modern tools make it easier. On cultural property buildings with rich curves, laying flat tiles is the most difficult and important task. Aligning the overlaps perfectly while avoiding height differences front to back and side to side requires years of practice. Although single strip bedding is said to be less stable, skilled technique more than makes up for it. The spacing between left and right tiles is determined by the Kawara, but it is kept as narrow as possible for better rain protection. Proper handling at ridges and hips is the true test of a fukishi's skill. These are the spots most prone to water infiltration, so extra care is taken. A straight line with perfectly uniform spacing and overlap is a thing of beauty. In this way, the flat tiles are laid beautifully. The depth, width, and angle relative to the gato, eave end cap tile, of the Nokimaru Gawara, round eaves tiles, are measured, and similar ones are grouped together. Tiles with a sharper angle to the gato are placed at the corners to give the eaves a more distinctive curve. Laying of the round eaves tiles begins. As with flat eaves tiles, work starts from the center of the eaves. First, a reference line is drawn to match the flat eaves tiles, and the slope is checked. After laying the reference round eaves tile that determines spacing, an eave string is stretched at the upper edge. The rest of the round eaves tiles are laid along this line. Finally, the corner round eaves tiles are set in place. The slope of these corner tiles, which defines the eaves curve, is checked carefully. Thus, all the round eaves tiles are installed. After the round eaves tiles, the round ridge tiles, Maru Gawara, are laid. These are joined to the flat tiles with roof plaster. The tiles are tied firmly to the Kawara copper wires, and the slope is adjusted. A string line is pulled along the slope of the flat tiles to serve as a guide. Care is taken to fill gaps with roof plaster to prevent leaks. This area is particularly vulnerable to water ingress, therefore, each round tile is laid with precision. The ridge area is important not only for appearance, but also for rain protection. The key points in laying round tiles are to keep them straight and at uniform height. Finally, the fukishi inspects the finished work and makes fine adjustments. The eaves, adorned with flat eaves tiles, round eaves tiles, and the flat and round tiles covering the roof, are now complete. The straight lines formed by the tiles harmonize beautifully with the roof's curves. The flat tiles used at Kirihataji show advancements in technology. Their undersides are hollowed to reduce weight. Tile-making techniques have advanced through history, and efforts continue to produce tiles that are stronger, lighter, and more frost-resistant. But lightness is meaningless without sufficient strength. Strength tests are conducted on the new tiles used at Kirihataji. The results show the new tiles do not break until about 3,000 kilograms of force is applied. The old tiles at Kirihataji broke at around 1,200 kilograms. This proves the new tiles are both lighter and stronger. Frost is a major enemy of roof tiles. In the past, frost damage was thought to occur only as far north as Zuiganji Temple in Matsushima, but now tiles are used as far north as southern Hokkaido. In the frost test, tiles are cooled to -30 degrees Celsius for over 8 hours, then submerged in water for more than 6 hours. After removal from the water, the surface is inspected for cracks. This process is repeated 10 times, and the Kirihataji tiles passed without damage. A water absorption test is also performed. It is considered best for tiles to have moderate water absorption. Too high, and the whole roof becomes waterlogged. None at all, and condensation can damage the boards beneath. The water absorption rate of the Kirihataji tiles is 6%, an ideal value. With the flat and round tiles complete, work begins on the main ridge, Sumimune. The first step is to place the Onigawara, demon face ridge end tile. Early ridges were simple, but over time they became more elaborate, often featuring Onigawara. These give the roof a stately yet elegant appearance. When gaps occur between laid tiles, they are filled with Mendagawara, gap-filling tiles. On the main ridge, Mendagawara are placed between the round ridge tiles. Each gap is different in shape, so every piece is custom-shaped to fit. Though time-consuming, this is crucial for waterproofing. After the Mendagawara are in place, Noshi-gawara, stacked decorative tile, are laid on top. Roof plaster is used here for strong adhesion. The steep curve from the ridge end Onigawara is adjusted with Noshi-gawara. The Noshi-gawara on both sides are tied firmly with copper wire. The ridge is also decorated with various ornaments. For this project, Washigai-zumi ornaments were used. Other types include Aogai-yozumi, leaf motif ornament with abalone inlay, and Kikumao-gawara-zumi, chrysanthemum crest ridge tiles. More Noshi-gawara are laid over the decorations. These are needed to hold the topmost Gambri-gawara, cap tiles. Above the Onigawara, Tiles matching the design of the round eaves tiles protrude. These are supported by noshi gawara and are called toribusuma gawara. They decorate the upper ridge. Finally, gambri gawara are placed over the topmost noshi gawara. The ridge curve is beautifully expressed. The last stage of roofing is finishing the joint with the tower's roof boards. Mendo gawara fill gaps between round tiles, and noshi gawara are stacked above them. Noshi gawara have many uses and are indispensable for ridges and hips. The junction between the main ridge and the gambri gawara is also filled with carefully shaped noshi gawara. The joint with the tower's roof boards is nearly complete. Once the noshi gawara are stacked to the top, the tiling work is finished. Roof tiling protects the roofs of cultural properties. It is accomplished through labor-intensive work and skilled craftsmanship. The important cultural property main hall of Kirihataji Temple has been magnificently restored after its re-roofing. Behind the old onigawara sits a Heisei-era onigawara. Old round tiles are laid atop new lightweight flat tiles, creating beautiful harmony. The roof's rich curves are given greater dignity by the tiles. The cultural properties of this country have been preserved through such careful, painstaking work. And such cultural treasures will continue to be protected for many years to come. Through roof tiling and many other traditional crafts,